first index of the fingers, okay? And then bend them again so there's no air in there. Tighten it up and nice and square. You see how nice and flat it is? You can lay a ruler on top of that. You have a good fist. You will have a lot of people that can't do that. They don't really, their fist looks like this. So you have to work on them bending, capping, rolling, or flattening. You hit with your pointer finger and your butterfinger knuckle. If you hit with somewhere others, like down here, you'll break your fist. You'll break bones in your hand when you hit something. So you want to hit with those two knuckles. Kind of fill those knuckles. Okay. So you teach them to do that. So do that. Take that right hand and pull it back and hide it behind you. So if I'm standing over here on the side, I can't see that hand. It's hidden. Right? Suck it back in. Okay. The other hand's going to go out. Now make a fist with it, but don't squeeze it real tight. Kind of relax. Now we're going to swap our hands. Bring the right hand out, take the left hand back simultaneously. Move simultaneously. Through the hips. Okay, get your heels up off the ground, straighten up your back.
Off the ground?
Well, just like an athlete, how do you wait for if you're guarding somebody in basketball, if you sink those heels down, you can't do anything. So, back straight and swap. Now exhale when you do, swap. 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 Don't curve your back, nice and straight. Just, like that. Okay, swap. 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 Okay. Now you see how it's bent? That means you're going to hit with those two knuckles. So we've got to practice in the mirror so you can see yourself. Hit it. And you're hitting the solar plexus. So you're hitting it right here. Both hands, right? Okay. Swap. Swap.
You want to bend chest up. You want to have your other hand almost hidden. When you make a fist, you want to first close it slightly, and then close it a little bit more. And then you want to put your knuckles down. You want to try to hit with your point finger and butterfinger. Then, as I'm moving this back, simultaneously I want to move my left arm forward and exhale at the same time.
And that's why we get people to ki to make them exhale. Okay. When you watch yourself on the video, you're going to see spring, spring, spring. You see it's relaxed, it just pops. Watch. Let me get up. You use an X-ray sheet, you can use a sheet of paper, and you get them in partners. You have to think about how you make partners and how they're going to stand. Get the partner to hold the X-ray sheet with their hand up, not with their hand behind it, but their hand up. So go ahead and do that for me right now, like you're going to shake out a rope. Hold out. Hold it. Okay. Now when I stand, I want to stand where my hand is past the sheet of paper. Back here, I'm not going to be able to hit anything. So I'm here.
You got to hold on to the paper. Though.
Yeah, you got to hang. From here, I exhale, top it, top it, top it, right? Relax, squeeze. I squeeze my fist as it rolls over. I squeeze the fist as it rolls over. It gives me some power. So let's see you do that. Relax the hands, nice and straight body, and swap your hands. Swap, 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 swap. Squeeze. Look at this hand. Got out of whack. Get your wrist back in. So that it takes 1,000 repetitions to get that down. Practice in the mirror until you can do it. It's tough. And when you practice in the mirror, practice forward. Then turn around and practice sideways and be your own coach. Right? You'll have to tell them to get your heels off the ground because they'll want to sink into it. They'll want to start locking their legs and standing up unathletic. But it really is from their hips. You don't tell them to punch from the hips. You don't ever say that because then they'll exaggerate it. But if you watch my hips when I punch, hold it up. When you watch my hips, you can see there is a natural rotation there. If you get your heels off the ground.
Sure.
If not, you're going to see me doing this.
And you're too slow.
Right. Come video from the back. You'll see them washing machine punching like this. If they stick their heels in, they'll do this. Right. Instead of elbow straight back, right?
Makes sense.
Front stance. This is a horse stance. Front stance, I'm gonna drop my foot back, but you notice I'm still in the quads. I'm not standing on the line, which a lot of the girls will do this. They'll want to drop back. This is a back stance. You don't want them in that. You want to make sure they can stand properly. When I do it, I've got my feet shoulder width, and they're forward. And those hips are pointed toward that door at about a 45-degree angle. When I kick, I'm bring my knee up first, and then my foot is going to come out. And that's called a front snap kick, because it snaps the foot out past the knee. My toes have to be pulled back, because if they're not, I'll break my toes. So one of the first things I do is I get them to stand up in their high heel shoes, pretend they're on stilts, so get your heels off the ground as much as you can, pull your big toe back, and walk around the circles. And that, when you do that, you're going to end up with a very flexed calf. It'll start to cramp on you because your foot is extended, but your toe is pulled back, and it causes the gastrocnemius to ball up. Right? You start cramping because you're not used to it. If the toe is pointed, the leg will be relaxed, and you won't get that. So they have to learn to do that. So I never let them kick something hard the first days because they'll break their toes. So we're just going to kick the air. So I'm in a stance. Most of my weight, about 70%, is on the back leg. You're going to pick up your foot and make sure your foot is under the knee at 90-degree angle, and then extend it out. We're going to do it in slow motion. So do it with me. Ready? Knee up. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again. Up, out, 3, and 4. Up, out, 3, and 4. You see how your body's wobbling around a stick?
My ankle,
You'll have to wrap your ankle. Also, you make sure that this knee stays bent.
I'll do it this way.
Because if you lock that leg, you wobble it. Also, tell them to look at a spot on the wall, like the second block, and they won't fall over so much. So look at my knee. Ready? Up, out, there, chamber back. Up, out, chamber back. Up, out, chamber back. Once they've got that, we go back to our extra paper and we try to kick it, right? And so they're going to do it so many seconds. Do it for a minute each or 30 seconds each, not how many reps, because some people will finish early and they'll be standing around board, and other people will be slow. So it's your whistle. You just go until I tell you to switch, and then you whistle and they switch, because you'll be in the big gym, right? Then we have actual bags.
Oh, we won't be in here.
Hey, this camera's gonna die soon this time.
Well, I've got bags. I brought some in like this. Okay? So we hold it down and let you kick.
I got you.
We hold it down and let you punch. Notice I don't hold it this way because then it will rip my shoulder off.
Yeah.
I want to be facing it. So go ahead and punch. Reverse punch, both hands. You have to punch with both hands. Punch. Squeeze those fingers. Squeeze. Make a fist. There we go. Good. Now, another error that you're doing, and all your kids will do, they'll leave their thumb out.
Yeah.
If you punch with your thumb out, it breaks your thumb, and then you can't fight in the fight.
Yeah.
We'll do the same thing with that front snap kick.
Okay.
Okay? Side kick is the next one. Okay. Side kick, you get them on line. Okay? And you can come stand on line with me if you want to sit on line. You're going to take your left foot and step on that line with that heel pointed on the line. So I'm like on a plate of glass.
Like this?
And I'm going to, yeah. Now look, my butt is facing to my target. Let's see, kiss this, bad guy. Pick up my leg like a dog at a fire hydrant and kick down to his knee. Don't turn your back.
Okay.
Look, get on this side of me, you can see that. Okay. Okay. My shoulder is going to point to you. I'm coming. A step, cross, kick.
Okay, I see.
Except it's going to be quite fast.
Yeah.
So here to here and kick. Here to here and kick. Okay. Now, you want them to bend at the hip. So if they're not bending at the hip, you tell them, bring your knee up, and you pull it up. Pull your knee to your gut, all the way to your gut. Now stomp the bug on the ground. That's it. Okay?
And then I get
now
the hips open.
yes, get the hips open, and now we just change it to the knee level instead of the foot.
Got you.
So if they cross too much, they're turning their back. You don't want to do that. Shoulders stay up, step behind, chamber kick. The better grapevine you can make, the bigger step you can make with that grapevine step, the more power you're going to have in your kick. Then it goes back to this. And then I've got some big gray bags that they hold where they can get a little more power.